bit about your footballing love.
My footballing love. So I'm a Newcastle supporter at heart, even though when it comes to betting, I don't really care too much if I bet against or for Newcastle. Like just trying to pick whatever value I can come across and not let my emotions get in the way.
Yeah, see, I'm terrible at that. I can't bet against Arsenal. I can't do it. You can bet against Liverpool.
Yeah, I bet against Liverpool a lot.
Yeah,
Not this season though. This season I've been betting for Liverpool. So.
Yeah, see, if I just can't do it because I want to see Arsenal win. So if I see a bet come up for Arsenal against Arsenal, I'm just like, this is just going to ruin my way of watching the game.
Well, the beauty of being an Arsenal supporter compared to being a Newcastle supporter is Arsenal is usually playing like later game. You can watch them on TV. Whereas Newcastle is usually the 3 o'clock games in the UK. So it's pretty hard to watch them on TV.
Yeah.
And also, like, who likes to watch those under games anyways?
Yeah, that's a good point because in the UK they only show like a couple of games every round, right?
Yeah, so all the 3 o'clock games are not shown on TV just so people will show up to Championship game, League 1, League 2 and support their local clubs. I think that's the reason at least.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I was thinking like the Premier League clubs surely would not have any issues with filling up the stadiums regardless.
No, but I think it's due to those lower leagues.
Yeah.
At least Scottish, I think, is also playing simultaneously. I don't know too much about Welsh soccer or Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's not the biggest leagues in the world, that's for sure.
No, I don't think so. So I guess that's just like to show like support all around the UK.
Yeah.
So how have you thought of Newcastle season, mate?
Well, it's surprisingly good. I thought they were going to go down, just like Marius keeps pointing out.
Yeah.
I mean, in one way, it would be good because hopefully then we would get a new owner. But at the same time, like he probably wouldn't sell the club because he would have got much lower price for it. So it's hard to say, but interesting news starting to go around now with the Saudi prince looking to buy Newcastle. So that could be an interesting one. Maybe become the next city.
Oh,
So you don't have a big like I love Ashley banner in your bedroom?
I have him as a bullseye on my dart table.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So
How it should be.
Yeah.
He's very much hated, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, he is more of a businessman that cares more about money than the passion for the club. And I mean, he is competing also against some people that is more wealthy than him, I think, in many ways. And I think you just got to make a decision. Like when you buy a club, it's like, do I want to invest a lot into this to try to make it the number one franchise or like top 10 franchise, realistically speaking? Or do I just want to, make some money from it?
Yeah.
His investment, I think he got the club pretty much for free because he was in a lot of debt. And I mean, he has recovered financials within Newcastle, luckily. But they had some outrageous wages and things were not going the right direction when he took over. So I give him credit for like fixing that. But anything else, like now that he started, he's not really taking it to the next step. Even though he actually spent some money this summer. But I guess he also looked at it like an investment because they were going down.
Yeah, Arsenal are kind of similar because we've got the Cronkies who own Arsenal at the moment. They just, they have full ownership. And Stan Kroenke also owns American sports teams also, and he's a lot more invested into them. So like all of last season, they went to one game, and that was the Europa League final. So it's just, the thing is like if everything's going well, your club's winning, it's okay. No one would think about the owners at all. No. But when you're not spending money or you're not going to any games and your team's doing poorly, like then the blame gets put further and further up.
Yeah, I mean, how much did you pay for Aubameyang?
Like 40 or 50 million?
Pepe?
72.
Yeah, I mean, you're in another league than Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
well, that's like last summer was like the first time they've actually spent big money. But if you looked at like their net spend, it was something like 30 or 40 million. So it wasn't crazy.
Who did I get money from selling?
That's a great question.
How much money did you get for Ramsey?
Ramsey, we got nothing. He went on a free.
Oh, that's right. That's good business, man.
Who did we get money for? I can't remember. About the shocker. But
So
I know Mkhitaryan went out on loan. Iwobi We got him for 30 million.
Oh yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
insane.
the
That was
stupidest
just the
buy I've
biggest
ever seen.
robbery.
Because, mate, we got to the transfer deadline day and no one said anything about Iwobi going. Everyone was happy to give him another season, see how he goes. And then out of nowhere, he just went to Everton. And we're like, okay, it's a bit of a strange leave. And then we're like, but they paid 30 million. We're like, oh, see you later then.
But I mean, look at Everton also. It's kind of like their manager has been playing Football Manager. Because I haven't played in 10 years or even more. But I can assume like Kane, how do you pronounce it?
Moise Kean.
Yeah, he probably gets really good in Football Manager, and maybe the same with Iwobi, and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna buy them now for $1 million and sell them for 100 or 200 in 5 years.
They buy lots of washed up players from big clubs, like top 6 clubs.
Yeah.
Just want to shoot in that back in the David Moyes days, there were some rumors about football clubs actually using Football Manager for scouting, and Everton was the club which was rumored to be using it.
Really?
So that would be very funny if that's exactly the strategy they were following.
But I don't know if there still are, but Watford used to be sponsored by Football Manager.
Yeah.
So
the guys who made the game are Watford fans.
Oh, cool.
Founders.
Obviously, you've got the problem with the owner, but are they like Maurice has gone on and on about how expected goals wise they should be basically in the relegation zone.
Marius doesn't know like how this works. Like we have class players.
What's I mean, you scored a lot of goals from corners. Like, what's actually working for you?
Well, in Norway we say corner equals goals. So in Newcastle we also have the same mentality, luckily.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just, I mean, they don't have a lot of playmakers. They don't have the star players like other clubs. Their mentality is very different. I mean, from what they've been able to accomplish this season, I can agree. It's well over what I expected.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to say like what you can expect going forward and all of these things, because it's so much money now in Premier League with the TV rights. So the clubs and the opposition is going to just get tougher and tougher. So you need to either stand out by having a great manager who thinks different to most people, or are able to create something unique, like you can see they've been able to do at Burnley, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. I think
they're each like unique style of play, and it's working for them.
Yeah.
So.
But with Newcastle, it's very hard. Like, I think Rafa had like something great going. Was a big fan of what he was able to accomplish given like the budget he was given and everything. But I wasn't too happy when Steve Bruce arrived, I must admit.
Yeah.
Like, they would talk about new owners. I was thinking like, yeah, we're going to get like a world-class manager to replace Benitez, who also great, like ranks pretty high. But when Steve Bruce came in, no sale, I was like, ugh. Yeah, all right, relegation it is.
But are you noticing a big difference in terms of how they present themselves when they're playing? Is the playing style much different to when Rafa was in? Because one of the things I at least have seen happening with managers before is that they bring in a new manager. First year is fine, because then sort of what the last manager taught the players is still embedded into sort of their on-field habits. But then another season goes by and things just go completely off the rails.
Yeah.
Especially for like Rosenborg in Norway. We've seen that a couple of times with coaches. So
yeah. That actually could make sense. And I just tried to think, I haven't really watched that many Newcastle games the past seasons, because they always play at 3 o'clock where I'm busy doing my betting and other things. So for that reason, can't really say that. But I don't know, for example, a new player who just came in, Joe Linton, our most expensive player, from what I've understood, he has not really performed at the level we expected or was hoping for. So it's hard to say how the new players are adapting into the system, or if they're able to make the difference. And then was it Steve Bruce's opinion who wanted to buy Joe Linton, or was it Mike Ashley who just wanted to buy him? Because I think that was like one of the issues Benitez had with Ashley. Like, he wasn't in sole charge of figuring out who to buy and who to sell. And do you think Ashley should be in charge there, or Benitez?
Definitely Benitez.
Yeah, like Mike Ashley can give him a budget and say like, look, this summer we're going to give you 40 million net to spend. If you want to sell someone and to buy and replace or do whatever you want, that's on you. Like, I hired you to do this job, so I'm not going to try to do your job for you.
Yeah. That's how it should be. And a couple of points there. One, apparently Benitez said that he thought Joe Linton was too expensive.
Yeah.
At I think it was around 40 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't like want him in the end. He liked him as a player.
Yeah.
And the second part is that Joe Linton wasn't really a goal scorer as like his main sort of value add to the team when he was at Hoffenheim.
Yeah.
And his stats since I follow a blog called StatsBomb, which is run by a guy who used to work for Pinnacle, setting the odds there.
Yeah.
And what they're saying too is like his stats, he's pretty good at everything besides scoring, like linking up play, keeping hold of the ball, all of that, pretty good at that. But goal scoring was like never his USP. And guess what? It hasn't been his USP at Newcastle too. So.
No, what I think is kind of funny is like if you categorize the players in Newcastle, so let's say you have 2 strikers in each game, 4 midfielders and 4 defenders. It'll be funny to see how many goals the defenders have scored, midfielders, and the 2 strikers.
I'm pretty sure defenders would do extremely well there.
Because of the corners and everything, right?
Yeah.
But I think compared to any other team, like the strikers would be probably the lowest in the league.
Yeah.
Or at least bottom 3. Midfielders, probably also bottom 5 or something, but defenders, probably top 5.
Yeah.
Well, that Almiron is his name.
Yeah.
He scored his first goal for Newcastle, and he's a winger.
Yeah.
How long had he been playing for?
I think it came last December or something, or January.
So he's basically played a year, and then he finally got his first goal. It's like,
I mean, he is so fast.
Second too.
He got a second?
Yeah.
There we go.
So the first one, wasn't that in the cup or something against some kind of lower league club, I think it was.
Yeah, because when I saw Steve Bruce come in, I saw some article a couple of weeks later ranking him as like the worst out of all the Premier League managers. So it's just like, okay, well, you've got a team that was tipped to make the relegation, and then he comes in, and it's like, oh well, they must certainly be going down this. And the way they play too, it's very I don't know. They do rely on a lot of set piece to score goals.
It's not the most entertaining football to watch, and I think like Newcastle had for decades, they always sold out St. James's like 52,000 every week. Now I think they're giving away 10,000 tickets for free to like kids every week just because they want to fill up the stadium.
Well,
I mean, that is the way I would go about it if I was not able to fill up the stadium.
Yeah,
but isn't it a one club town basically, Newcastle? Like, is there anyone close by?
Well, there was a club. I don't know if you heard about it. They used to be good many years ago, called Sunderland.
Yeah. Are they the closest?
Yeah. Sunderland and like Middlesbrough is also a bit close, but
so I would have thought they have a big enough support base to get people to the game.
Yeah, it's not about that. Like they always used to sell out, but it's more because of Mike Ashley. People are like boycotting it,
rioting in the streets, almost.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen a bit of that from Arsenal throughout the years. Not rioting, I wouldn't say, but apparently similar things going on at West Ham too. I've heard they've like had a few protests planned.
But West Ham is spending.
It was quite funny because I think it was like the 10-year anniversary since Sullivan bought the club. He has Sullivan and Goal, I think they're called. And they were like, talking about how much progress and stuff they'd made. And it's kind of like when they took over the club, they were in the exact same league position as they are now.
Really?
So that was just pretty funny.
Well, I mean, I think if you look at the majority of the Premier League clubs, like if you look at their squads and compare it with other clubs in Europe, like if you say you used to be ranked number between 12 and 15 in Premier League, how good were you compared to like 12 and 15 in Spain, Germany or other places? I think it would be much tighter than what it is now, but that is just due to all the money coming in from the TV rights.
As in, like, the average Premier League team is better now because they have so much more money?
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
I mean, there's a reason why the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea, like they're struggling a lot more now.
Yeah.
Because the other teams are so good. Like, if you look at the amount of points they've scored over the last year and a half, those, top 6 teams, taking out obviously Liverpool and Man City, like they lose a lot more often now.
Yeah. But it's funny to see, like, even though it's getting tougher, you can kind of see the domination that you've seen in Spain for so many years with Real Madrid and Barcelona. Used to be just like 1 and 2, then miles gap to Atletico Madrid. And I think, Villarreal might have been up there sometime. But now it's like it's a bit tighter, but Atletico Madrid is kind of in contention. And in Premier League, it's only really 2 teams, or only really 1 team this season. But I think Liverpool might have run a bit over expected, and
definitely.
And City might have run a bit below expected.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. But at least like one factor that I think Liverpool have gotten a lot better at this season is managing the games.
Yeah.
Because in the past they would go, like, if they have a 2-goal lead, they'd go all out and try to score another goal. But this season they're sort of able to kill off the game more. And then, like, if they're just passing the ball around between the center backs and recycling it, then they're not going to get as good stats as if they were constantly like trying to attack and
score. So you're saying it's better to bet unders and the opponents with handicap in Liverpool?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay. Yeah. Be fun to look at some stats from that.
Yeah.